Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
The first doses of the long-awaited Pfizer vaccine have arrived in the state. For more, our reporter Meg Sides joins us now live from near the Royal Hobart Hospital. Meg, you were on the tarmac at the airport where it landed.
That's right, Louise. The vaccine has officially touched down in the state. We were there at 4 o'clock this afternoon when it arrived on a Qantas flight at the Hobart Airport. It was quite strange to witness because there was no fanfare. The vaccine was unloaded from the plane alongside passenger luggage and freight. Now, those boxes contain 1 tray each of the Pfizer vaccine, both with around 1,000 doses, one of which has now been transported to the Royal Hobart Hospital to be distributed to frontline workers, including those at quarantine hotels. The second will head to the north and northwest of the state to be provided to those in disability and aged care sectors.
So we're expecting for provision at the Royal Hobart Hospital 1 tray per week for the next 3 weeks, and then as we start seeing more trays arriving, then we'll be able to stand up our hubs at the LGH and the Northwest Regional Hospital.
And Louise, the first vaccination will be given here at the Royal Hobart Hospital on Tuesday. Despite the Prime Minister receiving his today, there's still no indication at this stage whether our Prime Minister and Public Health Director will be rolling their sleeves, being among the first to receive the jab. Lou?
Crosswinds are being blamed for a crash at Wynyard Airport yesterday afternoon, which caused significant damage to a light aircraft. The 77-year-old pilot was taken to the Northwest Hospital last night, where he was treated for back soreness. He had managed to exit the aircraft and contact authorities. Recreational Aviation Australia will investigate the incident. The state government is hoping to connect hundreds of regional businesses with support through a new initiative. Applications opened this week for organisations to assist in the delivery of the $200,000 referral support program, hoping it will assist businesses to recover from the impacts of COVID.
And ensure that those businesses are getting the support, the advice and the access to government services in a fair way.
The last 12 months has been sort of overwhelming in regards to what we're facing in tourism. We couldn't have done it without that support.
The program will focus on 8 regional areas, including Circular Head, Glamorgan, Spring Bay, King Island and the West Coast. More than 2,000 people have dug deep and joined together for a fundraiser in Devonport, promoting awareness for motor neuron disease. The man at the centre, beloved Dr. Bryn Parry, whose recent diagnosis rocked him, his family and the local community.
Bryn Parry is currently batting against a truly formidable foe. 6 months ago, the 57-year-old doctor was diagnosed with motor neuron disease.
It's not good news. The worst feeling was knowing about the life-limiting prognosis.
Specialists have told him he has 2 years to live. For others, the end can come even sooner.
When he told us the prognosis, it was just... It's not just the person who is suffering, it's the whole family.
Researchers are yet to discover a cure for MND, which paralyses critical nerve cells, robbing sufferers of the everyday ability to move, speak, swallow and breathe.
I gradually lost the ability to walk properly. My legs got weak.
It really does remind you that you're not immune to it. It could be anybody.
Bryn has not yet felt its worst, taking part in a charity cricket match as part of a huge fundraiser for the Menzies Institute.
Hopefully we will be able to help fund some of the research to reduce the likelihood of other people getting it.
The target was 20,000. Already it's past 60,000 and growing, an example of a small community galvanised for one of its own.
I think it's turned out to be something so much bigger than was originally hoped for.
Despite the grim prognosis, Bryn is optimistic he can beat the odds and won't be giving away his wicket easily.
A bit like cricket, where you play each ball on its merits, you take each day as it comes.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
Hundreds of Tasmania's brightest young football players have come together for a carnival in Devonport. The Skill Acquisition Phase Festival aimed at helping uncover the next star player.
It may only be pre-season, but these fledgling football stars are already back on the pitch. Hundreds of Tassie kids putting their best foot and hands forward. The SAP Festival identifying those players already showing potential.
This is an opportunity to bring together 12 and 13-year-olds from around Australia to compete with players in the same age group, an opportunity for us to benchmark and see what level the kids are playing at.
COVID restrictions have limited this year's intake to local players only.
It's still good to have teams from all around the state, but it's perhaps not to the scale that it's been in previous years.
From playing games to skill sessions, the program aimed at getting juniors hooked on the sport.
It's really important that kids fall in love with the game, and the best way that kids can fall in love with the game is to play lots of games in training.
They have had a bit of entertainment, like they've done some stuff with the little kids, which is good.
It's good to actually be playing soccer since I had a foot injury, so I had 2 months off.
As the sport pushes hard to enter a Tasmanian team in the A-League, it's hoped a future household name may have made their mark today.
We'll be able to identify the hidden gem to go on and play in the A-League or even in international competition.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Goats of all shapes and sizes were on display in Deloraine today for the All Breeds Summer Show. The event showcased everything from dairy to Angora goats. However, this year was the first there had been a class for the boar breed, drawing close to 50 animals.
So we're trying to bring some profile to the breed today and give people an understanding that there's some quality boar goats in Tasmania and there's an industry where they can have an impact in the way of meat for consumption.
There are less than 10 boar goat breeders in Tasmania. A Tasmanian band is hitting the right notes with their latest album making a strong debut on the Arya albums chart. Luca Brasi's Everything is Tenuous has debuted at number 7 this week. It's their second top 10 album in a row. This latest record is the band's 5th studio album. Tasmanian basketballers Rain Smith and Taryn Armstrong were among 12 debutants for Australia in last night's Asia Cup qualifier win over New Zealand. Smith, who was in the starting 5, made the most of his chance, scoring 22 points for the match. The Ulverston boy was lethal from three-point range, scoring 18 from outside the paint. Armstrong came off the bench, eventually scoring 6 points and 8 rebounds. The Boomers defeating the Tall Blacks 81-52. To horse racing now, and Checkerboard has lived up to its billing, winning today's $150,000 Tasmanian Oaks at Mowbray. Going into the race as the short-priced favourite, the filly settled well early in the race. She took the lead just before the home straight and cruised to a comfortable win ahead of Queen Adele and My Squeeze Louise.
Good evening. Launceston reached a high of 26 today, 24 at Burnie, Devonport 22 and Hobart 21. 28 was the state's top at St Helens, Strawn 19 and 21 across Flinders Island and Smithton. On the close-up shows low-level cloud about coastal areas in the east and west. Further out, thunderstorms begin to develop over central and eastern Victoria. Tomorrow shows a cold front to the east of Tasmania while a trough lies through eastern Victoria extending through New South Wales and Queensland. West to northwesterly winds tomorrow 15 to 25 knots, swells up to 6 metres in the west and south and up to 4 metres in the north. A strong wind warning is current for northern and northeastern coastal waters from Stanley to St Helens Point and for lower eastern and southern coastal waters from Wineglass Bay to Low Rocky Point. Tomorrow's forecast now: Hobart, partly cloudy 19 across Dover and Ouse. In the north, Launceston and Devonport, partly cloudy, Scottsdale 21. Burnie and Stanley tomorrow 19, Strawn expecting showers, 24 at St Helens and partly cloudy across Swansea and Ross. The UV forecast is very high across the state with the sun rising at 6:43 a.m. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast Tuesday, showers about the west and far south decreasing later in the day. Wednesday showers continue about the west and far south, and Thursday more showers about the west and far south extending statewide in the afternoon. Capital cities 39 and sunny in Perth tomorrow, possible light showers in Sydney and 20 in Melbourne. And currently Hobart 17 and cloudy, Launceston 20 and Devonport 21 and partly cloudy. That's all for weather tonight, Lou.
All right, thanks for that, Jackie. And that's all from us tonight from the 7 Tasmania newsroom.